we had such a big lead, all we had to do was finish. Well, in 2009, Bimmerworld had approached me about working with a driver that wanted to come and do Grand Am, do the Continental Tire Series. I coached him for a weekend at Road Atlanta, and then we established a relationship, and that relationship built into starting the 2010 season at the Roar before the 24 at Daytona. We show up at Daytona. They're the brand new BMW team in Grand Am Continental Tire. I had a rookie co-driver that had never done anything like this in his life. First time on the track at Daytona with these cars. It was a BMW 328 manual transmission. Bimmerworld built them up, super nice. I went out and did, the first session, did the shakedown, got it shook down. I was talking my co-driver into, hey, here's Daytona, here's how we're going to drive it, here's what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. And about, 5 or 6 laps into it, he puts it in the wall. I mean, brand new car. And they're like, oh man, that's not how we want to start the season off. That was, the beginning of January. So we're out. We're out for the weekend, right? We're not turning any more laps. The crew guys got the car back together, couldn't tell it ever been wrecked. Show up for the race weekend. We were racing on Friday, 24 hours on Saturday and Sunday. And, he was super slow to begin with, just getting over his wreck. Well, the next thing we end up during the race, we end up finishing second. So what starting off a bad season ended up turning into a good start to the season. Well, that just that snowball kept going. Like literally we second that race. We ended up winning a race at Mid-Ohio. We got penalized and we still won the race at Lime Rock Park. Our worst finish going into the last race of the season was literally, our worst finish was 6th. Before the season, we kind of set up, hey, this is kind of what we want to do. And, kind of like you do a business plan. You're like, oh, hey, at this point in my career, I want to have this much, this much equity in the business or whatever. We're measuring our performance. And we were exceeding our performance. Like everything's like, all right. Going to the last race of the year, on the opening lap, the diff breaks. So we've got a 19-point lead. It's like, okay, we still have to finish the race to win the championship. Crew guys get the car back together, and they changed the diff, a hot diff, in 30 minutes. So in a 2.5-hour race, there's still some time to make up some spots. So we did our thing, and the racing gods were working against us in that one race because the diff broke. We were in position to where the championship would still be ours, but then about 25 minutes left in the race, the third place car's motor expired. Well, that moved the second place points car up to third place. They finished the race in third. We finished, I think we were 19th that race, out of like 27, 30 cars. And so anyway, when it came down to it, we had the same number of wins. We had the same number of seconds, but we didn't have a third, and they had a third in that race. And so we tied for the points lead, and it came down to basically the third tiebreaker to lose the championship. So the worst race of the year was the last one, of course the one that counts, right? But literally, like, we had such a big lead, all we had to do was finish. And we finished, but the other team finished just where they needed to. Literally just where they needed to. The third tiebreaker for the championship.